Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Chris, and this is the Daily Code, where ordinarily we learn all sorts of programming languages like PHP and JavaScript, and today is no different, except there's no PHP and JavaScript. Today, we're continuing with some videos that I made last week about circuit design and minigame stuff and general programming logic in Minecraft, and I thought it would be really fun to look at how to build something like battleships. So let's do that. So just before we begin, this is a modified version of Minecraft, and it's modified because I need a certain mod which allows me to add custom images into the Minecraft world as paintings. So I don't have the usual restrictions of a limited amount of paintings at a certain quality. I can actually load in high quality PNG images and have tons and tons and tons of different paintings, and the reasons I need it are not important right now, but all that is to say that this mod pack actually runs Minecraft 1.7, so it's a slightly older version of Minecraft, and it's not 100% compatible with everything that we could be doing in 1.9, but it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good. I'm actually just going to turn the music on quickly, or at least enable some music, just in case we want to listen to some of that, but I'll turn it down to that much. You know, so we can be pleasantly surprised by some random music that comes up. Also, I'll bring the chat up in case there are any questions while I go. And let's get started. Now, the thing that we're building is a... Stop it. The thing that we're building is a minigame of battleships in Minecraft. And if you're unfamiliar, it's actually based on an old-timey board game where two people have sort of like these things that fold open, and you put them back to back so that you can only see the thing that's in front of you, and the other player can only see the thing that's in front of them. And then the one player puts some battleships up against the surface that can't be seen by the other player. And the other player has to try and guess where these are. It's kind of a more complex version of the game Rock, Paper, Scissors, except that with Rock, Paper, Scissors, both people decide what their mystery thing is at the same time. Battleships, each player decides separately what their mystery thing is, and the other player has to try and guess. It's a more complex Rock, Paper, Scissors, right? So we're not going to design it at the full scale that I have made it before, because that will take a lot of time. We're just going to do something... on a smaller scale. To do this, we're going to get... those are all sorts of mods that load in with this mod pack. To do this, we're going to summon in for ourselves a command block, because we can't create these. We have to place them in creative. So we'll say give, and the name of the character, and the type of block we want, and however many we want. Okay, and they look like this in this texture pack, which is Sphax Pure BD Craft. I'll just put them with a gap of 3 in between. We also need some buttons, so I'll use these. I'm not sure how well these... Okay, they interact fine in creative. I was having issues with them last time I tried, but they look fine. Okay. Now imagine for a second that these are one of the player's mystery buttons. They can either select this one, or they can select this one, but whichever one they select is a mystery. Similarly, the other player, whose blocks I will place just behind here, 5 and 3 in between. Similarly, the other player then has to guess which of these two player 1 picked. I'll call them player 1 and player 2. Player 1 being the person who first selects a mystery value, and player 2 being a person who then guesses what that mystery value is. Just give me a second quickly. I just need some time quickly. Thank you, sheep. Okay. Also, I will make a way to dispose of stuff we don't want anymore. Okay. So, this uses a number of circuit types that we saw last week. And it also uses command blocks, I mean, like we have here, but only in the simplest sense. In other words, command blocks that just create or remove blocks. Because really you can do super interesting things with command blocks, but we're just going to use them to place and to break. And the kinds of blocks we're going to use them to place and to break are redstone blocks. So, to begin with, we want to have a way that the first player can select something. To do this, we're going to make this command block place a redstone block right behind it, okay, as a way of creating a persistent signal. In fact, we don't even have to place it right behind it. We can place it somewhere else. We can say, for instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces in between. We can say, place it right here, on this area here. Now, Minecraft maps are based on a coordinate system of X, Y, and Z. Let me just get some coffee. X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, if you're from other parts of the world. And each block in a Minecraft map has these coordinates. The music sounds a little bit loud. I'm going to turn it down to maybe like 50. Each block in the world, in each map, has a coordinate. To see what that is, we can press F3, or if you're on a Mac keyboard, function Alt F3. Okay, that's a lot of stats, but basically all you're looking for are these numbers over here, X, Y, and Z. Okay? So, what we need to do is we need to make this command block place a redstone block right here, and then we'll see what we do with that next. I'm just going to jump on here and note these values out. It's 821, so we'll say set block 821. Is that a minus? Is that a minus? Not that. No, it was a plus. Okay, 821, 5, and minus 854. 5 minus 854. Redstone block. Now, we can just test this out by putting it in the console first to see what will happen. And we have to start it with a backslash because it's a command. That didn't work. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Oh, this is not 2 words. It's 2 words separated by an underscore. Okay, let's try that. Oh, okay. It's offset a little bit. So, what was different here? Well, it looks like 820 is actually a more relevant value. And we were standing on this, which gave us a 5, but actually it's a 4 we need. So let's have a look back here. 20 and 4. Okay. So let's try this now. That didn't do anything. Did I do that right? 820. 4. Is this just not giving this a redstone signal? Maybe I have to do that. Also, daytime. Woohoo! So this is a this interface here is also from the mod pack from a mod called Not Enough Items, and it's really useful for building this kind of stuff. You don't have to be in creative to build these circuits, but it certainly helps in terms of having infinite resources and the ability to just make whatever stuff you want. Now this isn't working, so again, the same mistake. It's not 2 words with a space, it's 2 words with an underscore. Okay, let's try this. Oh, still a little bit off. Still a little bit off. I'm going to say it's still 21, but the Z value is 854. 850. Let's just play around with these a little bit. Let's see what this does. That's it, okay. So that's the measurement. Now, it seems finicky, but you only have to do this once for each block. Also, you know how it says at block placed in the chat? It's going to keep on doing that for each redstone block that this command block creates. And to get around that, we can actually put in a console command, which looks like this. Game rule, command block output false. Now, it won't tell us every time it creates a block in that area. So we can get rid of this, and we can put that block down, and it hasn't said anything for us, which is cool. Now, let's do the same thing for this command block, but let's just place it with a gap of 3 in between, so we have a redstone block here. There's a bit of a shortcut we can use. If we do this, and we see which value changes, it's that Z value that decreases by 1 every time. So let's copy this exact same command, which by the way doesn't actually need to start with this backslash in command blocks. You can just start it like that. And this decreases by 1 every time, and we want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. That away. So now when we run this, there we go. And that makes us there. Now, the reason we place these redstone blocks down is to get a permanent power signal. Well, I mean, it's not exactly a power signal, but you can think of it like a power signal. Let's get rid of this piece of wool. These redstone blocks give off a permanent signal, so this redstone will always be lit. And we use redstone in these redstone blocks to make more complex circuits, using all sorts of gates, which we'll look at now. So what we want to do for this is that this redstone block, we want to power a number of other command blocks. Let's get a repeater here, because this helps us to channel the redstone signal into other command blocks. Okay, so now when someone presses this button, all 4 of these command blocks are going to get power. That's really cool. Okay, so what does this have to do? Well, each time someone picks a bunch of stuff, we actually have to place a redstone block down that will give us some circuitry in this direction. Okay. The very first, we actually kind of only need 2 signals here. So I'll take this stuff out so that it's not confusing to everything else. We basically only just need 2 signals here. More complex machinery, and in fact if we get that far, we'll need more of these. But for now we just need these 2 signals. The first thing we need to do is we need to start counting. Now we can build a more complex counter circuit. Okay? If for instance we wanted someone to pick from a 3x3 grid of these buttons, we would have to have a counter signal. Say we only wanted them to pick 3 buttons out of a possible 9. We'd count to 3, and then at 3 we'd stop them guessing stuff. We'd say, okay, now you've guessed 3 options, you don't have to keep on guessing. That's one thing we could do. So once someone picks this button and this redstone block is summoned here, this command block can go through the process of counting until a count of 3 is matched, and then it can disable the rest of these buttons. That's one thing we can do. Now we're not actually going to do that right now because, well, only one selection needs to be made. Okay? But another thing that we need to do is we need to compare values. In much the same way that we summon these redstone blocks on that side, when someone guesses, we're going to summon the redstone blocks on this side. In fact, let's put another command block here. Okay? And let's mimic this setup over here. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a block. Okay, and these measurements are... Wow, I've got so much text there. I'm just going to put this in terminal, set block 803, 4, and minus 854. Where does that summon it? Okay, just 1 to the... Okay, the Z needs to be 1 to the right. Sorry. 853, 854, 855. There we go. Okay, so now when we run this, it's going to place a redstone block where we want. We can put this command in here. Again, we don't need to have that slash because command blocks just run everything like a command. And now when we press this button, that's going to happen. Similarly, as we did with the other side, we can use this as a shortcut. And here we're just going to do 851 because it's moved that many blocks in this direction. So this summons a block and this summons a block. Okay, let's mimic the same pattern we had before. So we're going to do that, and we're going to have 2 repeaters in here to help channel the signal. Same thing here. And there's really no limit to the amount of command blocks you can power using the same strategy. You could make this line of redstone go quite far down, and you could have a line of repeaters and a line of command blocks. This is basically a way to send a signal into many command blocks at once. If we were using version 1.8, I think it is, or even 1.9 and above, instead of doing this redstone signal and repeater setup that we've got here, we could actually just summon a line of redstone blocks with a full command, and then have each command block powered off of each redstone block. So this is kind of a thing we have to do because we're using 1.7, but actually it's not a fixed requirement of doing circuits in Minecraft. It's just a shortcut for doing something that's much easier in 1.8 and 9. Okay, let's put these two down here. Now, the first side, let's get some signs up here so that we don't get confused. Let's see, this will be under decoration. There we go, sign, okay. Player 1. And this over here will be player 2. Okay. Also, let me check here something. Let me check here something. The best English sentences. You heard them here first. Okay. Right, so we've got player 1 and we've got player 2. Now player 1's command block, this one over here, is going to summon another redstone block at a special location. Let's say, for instance, it's got to summon a redstone block here, and we'll also summon another redstone block here from the other circuit. I'll show you how this works in a little bit. But these have to power what we'll call an AND gate. Now, AND gates are kind of funny. They're a logical construct that you can use to say, if I have one signal and another signal, in programming terms, if I have one true value and another true value, then the result is true. And you can construct it like this. There are more concise ways of constructing gates in Minecraft, but I'm just using the one that for me is the easiest to reason about. Okay, so let's see this in action. Let's get a redstone block and let's say, okay, if I have one value that's true or has an input signal, and I have another value that's true and has an input signal, then the result is true. So yes, this is actually programming in Minecraft. So again, let's break this down and see. If I take one of the true values away, this is false. So this is an AND gate. It's a way that we can see, okay, if one of these switches is true, like this, and one of those switches is true, like that, then do something interesting. So let's summon those blocks. In fact, we'll leave these down here and we'll get the coordinates for this. Okay. Oh, I wish there was a way to clear chat. Is there a way? Let's see. Hold on, I'm just going to Google a bit. Clear Minecraft chat. Because that would be really useful. Oh no ways! Is that a thing? No, that didn't work. I'm trying to get this out. Apparently it should be something like this, which doesn't actually seem to work. That looks like a really old version. Let's see. Works on 14.3, pressing 1 to 9. Press S while holding will reload all client resources. Holding A will reload all chunks. Holding T while holding. Manual debug crash on purpose. This is really interesting. Holding shift, that's not what I want. Holding F will get rid of fog. there's actually a page that has a full list of these commands, so I'm just going to go to it quickly. I basically want to clear all this nonsense out here so I can see the coordinates behind it, because that'll be a lot quicker than copying and pasting and clearing chat every time. So, D. Pressing D while holding F3 will clear chat history, including previously typed commands. That's interesting. Okay, so F3 and D. What? That actually did it. That's phenomenal. Okay. I'm gonna set it back to dawn. It should be all light now. Okay. No! That totally didn't work. I'm also gonna put my phone on Do Not Disturb mode. Okay. Anyway, that was a massive waste of time. We're just gonna look at what these coordinates are. Set block 822. 4 minus 860 redstone block. Just let me know in chat. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. Just let me know in chat if the music and stuff is too loud. It seems very loud to me, but my levels are slightly different in the streaming app. I'm actually going to turn it down a little bit because it's too loud for me. It might be very soft now, so just let me know what the levels are like. Okay, so that looks like... what happened? Minus 860. Redstone block. Nope. No! No! Minus 860. Redstone block. Okay. It's actually 861. Okay, let's break both of these and let's try this command again. There we go. Okay. Wow, that was frustrating. Okay, so this first redstone block is going to do this command. Again, we don't need to put the slash there. And this redstone block over here is going to do the same thing, but it's going to do it in 860. Not 2, but 3. Okay, so let's break these. And let's break this. Okay, the first test of our Battleships minigame. Okay, at a very small scale, of course. Push one button here, and we have a redstone block there. Push one button here at exactly the same place, and we have a second redstone block here. And what we have is a true signal. So basically what we've done is we've matched a guess with a selection with a guess. And that's given us a truthy value. Now we can do other interesting things here. Like, for instance, if we were going with the battleship's metaphor, we could detonate some TNT to make it sound like a battleship has been hit, which is a pretty cool effect. We could fire off some fireworks, for instance. That's also pretty cool. What we also need to do is we also need to check whether something was missed, and that's a lot harder. Judging by hits is very easy, especially when you look at this kind of stuff, but we also need to judge by misses. Anyway, I'm going to take a very short break quickly, so hang around for a little bit because I want to get something to drink and I want to drink some more coffee and I want to stretch my legs a bit. So hang around and I'll see you in 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes on a break.